Jody here with Thumos Strong. I've been getting a lot of questions recently from dads who have sons that they want to bulk up, gain weight, put on some muscle. Maybe they're 16, maybe they're 19, but the end ask is, hey Jody, how can I help my kids safely put on some muscle, gain some weight? All right, so assuming they're medically clear, they're healthy, they're good to go, I've got some tips for you. First and foremost, we got to get those calories up. We may need to get him up 300 to 500 calories per day in addition to what he's already doing. Assuming he's sort of at maintenance. I know he's not probably tracking calories and whatnot, but the bottom line, we got to get those calories up. Good proteins, carbs, and fat. This is not really a time where he needs to be eating cod, tilapia, zero fat. Let's get those calories up. That's one thing. Secondly, we need to make sure that he is getting his protein in. And that, just like for adults, whether leaning or gaining, kids and adults, aim for 3 meals plus 2 snacks. That's 5 portions or servings of protein all day long. Combine that with an energy source, fats, carbs, probably both, especially if they're trying to bulk or gain. Do it safely, do it reasonably, but get that protein in. An easy way to add protein is to supplement, not every meal, a good whey isolate. That's a good one right there by NutriBio. There are lots of brands out there. I'm a fan of Isolate. It's clean, it's easy. It tends to have a good BV value. In other words, it produces results, or at least it should. And if Junior is not allergic to, or irritated or sensitive to whey, get him on it. I still like dairy for him, as long as he can digest dairy. He does not have an intolerance. Maybe that's yogurt. Full-fledged. You can be a low fat, but why not go for the whole thing? Let's get those calories up. Milk is still fine if he can digest it. If he's having any sort of allergic or sensitivity or throat clearing or sinuses, sans of dairy and go another route. But otherwise, I like whey, especially isolate. I like dairy. Tell you what else I like. A whole lot. He's got to be doing protein and carbs, ideally. Protein and carbs before the gym, after the gym, and even daring in the form of a drink. So if he's got to do something that's, fast acting, like a whey protein isolate and some rice, preferably white rice, great, perfect. He could do that an hour to an hour and a half before his workout. That's good fuel, good carbs for fuel and energy. That's protein, amino acids in the bloodstream, especially for the time he's working out, prepping him to lift weights. That's perfect. Of course, he could eat steak, but he needs to be sort of 2 hours prior to the gym with a potato or something like that. But at the end of the day, we don't want anybody trying to lift weights and digest steak. That's not a pretty picture. Ask me how I know. So beef is fantastic. He probably needs that in his diet daily anyways. Again, assuming he does well on meat, beef. 2 hours for digestion. Chicken's probably going to need an hour and a half. Turkey is fine too. Fish, an hour and a half. Whey protein isolate, an hour and a half to 1 hour before weight training, because we got to have him digesting that. We want him pushing hard, back and legs and big muscles, and we don't want food sitting in his stomach causing him to be basically feel like he's getting sick, nauseous while he's working out. The other thing I love is my Thumos special drink. I didn't make this up. I actually borrowed it from other people. But the truth is, I was on this like 30 years ago in a form or fashion. But essentially, here it is, and we've tweaked it today. I like 1 scoop of a good cyclic Dex. This is super carb. It's the one I like. It works very well. 1 scoop's about 25 grams of carbs. Put that in my workout shaker. Assuming he's okay to do, you're okay with him doing creatine. Again, he's medically cleared, he's good. I think creatine is very safe. It's been studied for years and years and years and years. Make sure he's drinking water. A scoop of creatine. He doesn't have to load it. 1 scoop. 5 grams. Should be good to go. 3 to 5 grams. Put that in there. Same drink, same shake. Teaspoon of good old table salt. Salt is good for a lot of things. If he's got blood pressure issues, that's a different conversation for adults as well. But otherwise, blood pressure is taken care of because our minerals they're balanced, they're healthy. Thinking potassium, thinking magnesium, calcium, all that helps to control blood pressure. Put a little salt in there and he can get good muscle contraction. He can feel some pumps, especially along with that creatine. It's fantastic. And I didn't put it in front of me here, but a teaspoon of either maple syrup or honey. In fact, he can go a tablespoon since he's trying to gain. and then a tablespoon of a good EAA, essential amino acids. This one tastes like hell, but you don't really taste it when you mix it with all the good flavored stuff. Don't do this by itself. I've done that. It's not pretty. But any EAA that's a good source, good tablespoon. About 5 grams of EAAs, that's great. Put that all in a shaker, shake it up. Have him start drinking that when he gets into the gym. Have him sip it between sets, so he's doing preferably a bodybuilding style of workout. So he might be doing chest for whatever, 16 sets total in that given day. If he's just hitting it once a week, he might be doing back for 18 sets if he's hitting it once a week, or he might be more on a push-pull legs rest. In that case, then he might only do 8 sets of chest on the first day he's in there, and when he comes back around 4-ish days away, he may do another 8 sets. That's a whole nother conversation. But either way, he's drinking that drink. When he gets into the gym, he's sipping it throughout, and he finishes that drink when he's done with the workout. And then he goes home, and there's no rush to get home as far as some window or anything, but he ought to be eating a big meal, again, of protein and carbs. Eat big. Got to have protein and carbs in there, especially post-workout. And then based on the time, continue to eat protein and carbs up until bedtime. I'm not a big fan of eating real big before bed, even with, teenagers, because big meals before bed can still impact negatively deep sleep. But he could and should consider some casein protein in the form of dairy, especially like cottage cheese and yogurt. It's slow acting, so it's almost a timed release. So little Junior is getting protein many hours into his sleep stages. So hope that helps. Let me know how it works if you try this out on your kids. Thanks and have a great day.